Hi friends, so this is the sketchbook that I actually found and picked up, and I figured that it would be really useful because it has all different kind of paper in it and it will help me kind of go over tips and tricks for you. And I will have friends joining these videos who are working on projects from other classes. So I just wanted to let you know I will try and give you some ideas for how to start out the project and then to get where we are so you can kind of catch up and still use some of these tutorials as well. So the first thing I wanted to mention is for my friends who are working on Celtic Knot work, this is a work in progress. It's not finished by far, but I figured as I'm working, I can just check in here and give you some ideas that are helping me, or maybe go over some strategies that I'm learning along the way. Because obviously, even though we go through a tutorial, sometimes there are things that are easier, some things that are more challenging, and by me going through it at the same time, I can kind of help you work through any problems. So as far as the Celtic Knot itself, I happen to find a really simple video. There are so many styles that you can choose from. This was a basic one, so it can help you understand how the math works and how you basically are almost creating a graph. And what I did was I kind of left it in different stages so you can see where my work is. Now, I still have some of the circles that I have to erase in some of my guidelines. So that's something I have to work on. There's a couple spaces too, like this one, for instance, where I have to actually move this line out a little bit more. So I'll be erasing and restarting that. So I have, again, work in progress. It's not perfect. And I really wanted to show it to you in that way, because this is reality. This is how it works. So you have to sometimes do a little trial and error, see how it works out. My circles were not perfectly sized, so I really had to go in and keep reworking it. So with that being said, I also want to show you, once you start to lay out some of the color, you'll be able to have this really beautiful effect. So I started out with my red, my orange, blending into yellow here, and then continuing there. And then on the other side, as you'll see, it's going to be a rainbow effect on the other side. So on the other side, I'll be starting with the blue, I'll work into the green, and there will be purple. So as we're going through, what you want to do, whether you're working with crayons, oil pastels, or if you're working with crayons or colored pencil, the idea is still the same, is that you're starting with your primary color. You can work into your secondary and tertiary colors, but as you're doing that, you're just layering and blending. So of course, this is a plain red. I might add a little bit of a darker red just to give a stronger effect. And then I took my red and started blending it into orange and a touch of yellow at the edge. And then it's just really yellow here, just plain yellow. And then I'll work the other way. So this is important to kind of start with. And then the last step, as you can see, is I'm going to go around in Sharpie, and it's going to make all of the colors pop at the end. So I know many of you are really good at blending already, but as you can see, so I have my rough marks here that I started with, and my yellow is pretty rough. I just kind of laid out that color to start because I may add a little bit of a different red and a different yellow as I'm working. But my red, orange, and yellow, I actually did start to blend with my finger here. So you can start to see how it's going to have that really soft look. And don't get discouraged, even if you're working with colored pencil or if you're working with crayon, there is still a level of blending that you're going to be able to do. It'll be less with your finger because it won't move as much as the crayons, but you'll be able to do that. And the other thing I want to suggest is, if you are using those two ideas, so the crayons or the colored pencil, you can actually get almost this blending effect if you use an eraser. So you can just go over it with an eraser and it will start to blend it and soften the colors. Don't do too much because it'll take too much color off, but just a light eraser effect over top will make that nice blended effect. So I hope that this helps you with kind of our next steps with getting started. And again, you can actually create your own color scheme, but this was just a nice effect to make everything pop. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're all doing well.